Hi there, I'm William Barzi and I'm from the British Blacklist. Today I'm joined by Jermaine Fowler and Nomzamo Mbatha, who both star in Coming to America 2. How are you guys?
We are fantastic. We are so good.
Well, me not so much. I've got a bone to pick with you because Jermaine, I've been growing up my hair, getting ready for the Jermaine Fowler competition in my area. And then you went and cut it all off right before the interview, yeah?
Yo, that's funny. Yo, okay. Yo, so I love your hair, by the way, man. I miss my afro. Afro is beautiful, man. What's up?
First of all, you miss your afro. I gave you a haircut.
You gave me a haircut. You did.
Thank you very much.
That is so funny, man.
Guys, no spoilers, no spoilers.
It is so funny.
And Nomzamo, I saw you on Instagram flaunting your spotless skin, and I caught a young one right here today. I took it personally, I'll be honest.
Let me know what I need to send you.
Oh, man. That's so funny.
So all jokes aside, guys, Jermaine, you were 1 month years old when the original came out, and then Zama, you weren't even born yet. So what is it like to be part of a film like this, guys?
Yeah.
Yo, I didn't have my afro yet, you know.
No.
It means everything, dude. It's like the biggest project personally I've ever worked on. Just to even be talking to you on a global level, it's the biggest thing I've ever worked on, and it means so much to me. It means everything to me. So the original holds such a big place in my heart, and so to be a part of like royalty in many ways, this is everything, dude. This is so big. It's so big.
Right. I mean, for me, I guess I wasn't even born yet, but I'm so happy that for this particular sequel, the diaspora is also included in some way or form, in the music, and obviously with myself being a part of the lead cast. I think for me, the film has always been a part of the cult classic. It has always been in any Black home that you can go to around the world, guaranteed. So just being a part of it is obviously an out of body experience. Even just this moment, as Jermaine already relayed, for me it's just like, this is dope, man. I can't wait for everybody to see this film. Obviously we were nervous because the original is so good and it's so important to everyone, and it's still so relevant right now. And obviously you want to make a project that everyone can be able to enjoy and be a part of, and just really be proud of. So I hope you liked it.
No, definitely. Guys, this is big for me as well. Like speaking to people from different countries as well. Like this is nuts. It's not something that you think's ever going to happen. And you guys touched on Black royalty. How important do you feel like it is for the youngsters and for us as well to see ourselves depicted in this way as kings and queens?
Everything, man. I mean, I grew up watching films where all we were just slaves and maids and stuff like that. And I'm like, it's time for a different perspective. It's just time for a different perspective. Coming to America opened all those doors. So to be a part of that is just beautiful, man. I think there's just a way people need to be seen, and heard. And this movie is just that. It's so loud, it's so colorful, it's so beautiful, and everything is just feels like everything just so represented so well in this film. And I want to see what they do in the future with after films after this. It's just so wonderful to be a part of something so Black, so unapologetically Black. It celebrates Blackness in a way no one has done since the original Coming to America. It's awesome, man.
100%. I think also just challenging the narrative, number one, and then controlling the narrative, which I think is exactly what's happening right now in film, especially with Black films or just films in general. We want to control the narrative. For so long, as Jermaine said, we were depicted in a certain light, but it's important for us right now to be able to even cross-pollinate and to just go over the oceans and tell a different narrative and tell a different story. And I think that's what this film does. It challenges the narrative and then it changes it and it controls the narrative.
No, that's beautiful. You guys are clearly media trained because those answers are amazing.
This is like how we feel. It's how we feel.
I'm just messing with you. I'm just messing with you. It felt very spontaneous and very, very much from the heart. I appreciate that answer so much, man. Very much from the heart. This film shows a diverse spectrum of womanhood. Women in all shapes, women with all different types of personalities. If you guys could speak to the importance of that as well. I know, Jermaine, you're a father of a daughter, and Nomzamo, you're a woman. So if you could take it away, guys, I'd love to hear about that.
Okay, I guess ladies first. For me, it was important to use my character as well to be a medium to send the right message so that girls and women everywhere watching the film can feel seen and heard and represented. I know that if we were all in the cinema, it's not going to happen in your homes. We're going to hear a lot of yes, sis, yes. You know how Kiki's character as well, Mika, you know how she comes into her own as well and says, but I belong, I am capable. You get a Zamundan woman like Mirembe, who says, you know, I can own a business. I want to own a business. We have to change the ways of the world. So I think it was also very important to also just, you know, read the room about where the world is right now and put the finger on the pulse. And that film, this film really just does that. And Craig Brewer as a director did a brilliant job in allowing women to have agency in how to tell the stories and not control anything. And he did such a beautiful job at that. And I think, you know, the power of our voices is clearly heard in this film.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. My job is to listen and execute, you know, hear and execute. You know, I want to be helpful. You know, Lavelle's character doesn't necessarily, he's so selfish in his role. You know, he wants one thing, so he isn't listening to another thing. And, you know, it isn't until he finally speaks to Mirembe, starts to open his eyes and his ears to what her struggle is, you know, and then he starts to understand and take heed to it, you know. Same thing with Akeem. You know, he had to be reminded of who he was, what he stood for. And it isn't until he has that, I don't know if you've seen the movie, if I should talk about it, but, you know, I'll try not to give any spoilers, but he's reminded of what his mother stood for and what Lisa stands for. And he has an opportunity to change things. I have a daughter. I'm a proud father. I'm a partner to my girlfriend, and I want to be helpful. Like, I want things to change. I want women to feel comfortable. I want them to be heard. I want them to not feel subjugated. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I want. And I would be a terrible father if I didn't try to help change things for my daughter. You know, so when Nomzamo speaks, I listen, and I try to just be better, do better. And that's where I start. I start with myself, and then I got my mom over here, you know, looking over me. I'm a proud son, and I want to make sure the people who help me grow and, you know, become the man I am today are proud of who I am in the future. So that's just what I stand for right now.
Thank you. And I joked about how amazing you guys are looking now, because I know that you guys are the ultimate success story, reading coming from Maryland, coming from South Africa, and what you guys have had to do to get here. And I feel like coming to America is the ultimate underdog story in so many different ways. I just wanted to know what it was like for you guys and what parallels you draw between your own lives and the come up.
Sheesh. Oh my gosh. Wheelan was like, I'm ready for them. Bring them on. I mean, for me, I'll start, I guess. You know, the whole narrative of me even playing this character on this film is, you know, this is my own personal coming to America story. You know, I came to America in 2019 to just be closer to the pulse and tell, you know, stories and try and make it into Hollywood. And then my first role and breakout role happens to be in Coming to America. I think that's a full circle moment. And I hope that it inspires other people also to just go against the grain and trust the process and just take that leap of faith. And I think that's what what my character does as well. She's very, and anyone who knows me knows that I'm very rooted in who I am. I'm not ashamed of where I come from. If you ask me anything about my continent, I will be able to tell you, just because I am such a proud African woman. And that's what Mirembe is. She's a proud Zamundan woman. And she's also chosen not to do the traditional thing in Zamunda. She didn't want to be a bather. She didn't want to be anything else. She's a barber, you know, so that as well is just a messaging on its own. And, you know, yeah, Jermaine, you go.
Yeah. Just like what she said, like I feel like Lavelle has learned through this circumstance how to embrace where he comes from. I'm from Maryland, and there are times when like I go back home and I see where I come from, and I get very prideful. I get like, man, I come from, this is where I come from. This is where I got my bearings. This is where I learned how to do this and do that. And I come back to LA or New York, and I don't try to hide that. I never try to hide where I'm from. It made me who I am, and no one is like me. And nothing is like Maryland. Nothing is like where I come from. So why try to change that? Why try to run away from that? You know, and Lavelle has to learn that. Lavelle has to learn that. And it isn't until he meets Mirembe where he starts to embrace all of that. So to me, it's like keeping that circle tight and close and making sure that people who care about you are around you and remind you, you know, you are worth more than this. You can do more than this. Do better, you know. So that's what I've learned with that role and with this movie. And I hope people take that away too.
Most definitely, and no one is definitely like you. Like I said, I tried and failed. But
I got you.
In closing, I just wanted to quote. In closing, I just wanted to quote Nomzamo's amazing grandmother, who she holds so highly, and we do as well. If you don't mind, I've heard you say that it's never about the garments, the cameras, it's the feeling you leave with people. And I just wanted you guys to know that you've left an amazing feeling with everyone who's watched this film. Thank you.
I appreciate that, man.
Thank you.
Beautiful quote. I like that.
Thank you. What a great conversation.
Okay, guys. Until next time, yeah? Pleasure.
What a great conversation.
I know.